Welcome again. This is Hope Channel Kenya, and the program is Quest for Knowledge, or Knowledge Quest. This is Alex Mokaya, your social studies teacher, who is welcoming for this session. In this time around, I'm targeting those ones who are going to sit for KCVTs here, and from where we stopped, we want to continue from where we stopped. Today, I want us to teach a new subtopic under resources and economic activities, natural resources and economic activities. And what we want to discuss today is fish farming. And we shall compare Kenya and Japan. We shall compare Kenya and Japan. And under fish farming, we shall discuss where fish farming is done in Kenya and Japan. Because we have said we shall compare Kenya and Japan. We'll also see the comparisons about fish farming in Kenya and Japan. So those are the two things that we'll discuss today. And then from there, for now, and then from there, we move on to the next topic. Now, fish farming in Kenya. Let's start from Kenya. Fish farming in Kenya, in most cases, in most cases, you find that fish farming is also referred to as aquaculture. The word aqua means stands for water, and then culture itself. So it's actually life that we normally keep in water, which can give human beings income, can give human beings food, can create job opportunities, and many other benefits as we can get from the waters. So we are going to see where do we have fish farming in Kenya. The first one, the first place where we have fish farming in Kenya, we have them the following places. We have them at Bambuli in Mombasa. We have them fish farming at Bambuli in Mombasa, whereby people do some fish farming. Then we also have another one at Sagana in Kirinyaga. This is where actually you can go and buy fingerlings. We're going to discuss that one. And buy fingerlings so that you can go and keep them where you want to keep them. So we have them in Sagana. Then we also have some in Homa Bay. Homa Bay is found in Nyanza, just to the southwest of Kisii. We also have a place called Kibos. Kibos is found in Kisumu. That's why we also have it. We also have at Lake Chipe. Lake Chipe is found in Taita Taveta County, and Taita Taveta County is found in the coast, what we used to call formerly coast province. Nowadays we don't have coast provinces. What we have is counties. And then we also have another station in Taita Taveta. So those are the places where you can get what we call where you can get the fingerlings, and that's where actually fishing done. So if you want to start a fish farm, you can get fingerlings from those stations and then start your fishing. Now in Kenya, fishing is done in the following areas. Number one, we have the lakes. That's where fishing is done. We have the lakes. That's number one. We have the lakes in Kenya. We have Lake Victoria. That's where we have fish farming is done. Fishing is done there. We also have Lake Turkana. We also have fishing there. And Lake Turkana is a very important lake and a very unique lake in the world because it's a lake which is found in the desert. You can imagine a desert having a freshwater lake whereby you can get tilapia, a very nice fish that you can enjoy. So we have them in Lake Turkana. We also have farming in Lake Naivasha, fishing in Lake Naivasha, whereby you can get fish for your commercial reasons, or you can get fish for your human consumption at the home. So we do in Kenya, fishing is done in lakes, and I've given examples of lakes in Kenya where fishing is done. We also have fishing in dams. We have fishing in dams, and the best example for fishing in dams is Masinga Dam. That's actually the best. There are many dams that actually where we have fishing, but Masinga Dam is one of the examples. Then we also have rivers. We also have rivers where fishing is also done. We have River Tana River. We have River Kuja, River Nzoia, River Nyando. Mention those rivers. That's where fishing is at, because most rivers carry fresh water, fresh waters. Well, the only problem with rivers is that the only thing which affects rivers is pollution. For example, Nairobi River, Nairobi River is a bit been polluted, and therefore does not support fish as such. But if a river is not polluted, then it carries its original fresh water. Therefore, fish it can support fish. Now we have mentioned areas in Kenya where number one, fishing is done. We have said lakes, and I've given examples of lakes like Turkana, Lake Baringo, and we also have Lake Naivasha. Remember, Lake Baringo and Lake Naivasha is found in the Rift Valley, and Lake Turkana also. Then we have also mentioned Lake Victoria. We have also mentioned dams, and I've given the best example of Masinga Dam, which was actually constructed mainly to produce electricity. But again, human beings realized that they can also be useful in producing fish. So we have mentioned dams. We have also mentioned the rivers. That's one in this with Kenya. We have also mentioned rivers. And in rivers, I've given examples of River Nzoia, I've given of River Nyando, Sondomiriu, River Kuja. Name all those rivers. There's some fish. And there are some small rivers within our villages that where you can do fishing. But those rivers in our villages, they only produce some small fish, which you need to get more for you to get enough food. But anyway, there's fishing done places. Now, I want us to, we have also named where we can get fingerlings. I've also meant where we can get fingerlings. This is the young one of fish, where you can go buy and then start one in US. One thing I didn't mention are ponds. Ponds. Yeah, this one you can construct one in your especially the river. You divert water comes to the river, and then you start rearing fish. Now, this one is the one which most people have adopted, because most in fishing in Kenya is done in small scale. It's just done in small scale, and then you can get. So what I was saying is that you can get fingerlings, the young one of fish, so that you can get them and rear them in ponds. Rear them in ponds, and we have mentioned some of those areas where you can get them. We have one in Sagana. Sagana is found in Kirinyaga County. And the Kirinyaga County is found in the former Central Province. We also have another one in Homa Bay. Homa Bay is found in Nyanza and the former Nyanza Province. We also have Kibos in Kisumu, and many other areas that I've mentioned, including Bamburi in Mombasa. Now, I want us to mention some of the areas where fishing is done in Japan. We want to see some of the areas where fishing is done in Japan. And then from there, we give the comparisons between Kenya and Japan, and after which we call it a subtopic and move on to the next subtopic. Remember, Japan is one of the most developed countries we have in the world. It was formerly colonized by the British people, but it gained independence. It also took part in the First World War, 1914 to 1918, and also took part in the Second World War, 1939 to 1945, when actually they were bombed by the American Air Force, something that made them to stop war, and that's something that made the Japanese not to go for any war. Now, the first one is a place. Their names are very very interesting. Their names are very interesting. The first one is how do I pronounce this one? The first one is Kyushu. That's where we have lots of fishing. Remember, fishing in Japan is mainly done in the ocean. Fishing in Japan is mainly done in ocean. In Kenya, we have ocean fishing, what we call marine fishing, only in some few parts in the coast. We have Malindi National Park, there's some fishing there, and some few areas at Kwale. That's Kilifi, I'm sorry, at Kwale is some few things. It's not as common as what we have in inland fishing. So we have a place called Kishu. Then we also have a place called Shikoku. This place there. There's also fishing. Fishing is also done there. Then we have another place called Honshu. Yeah, these are Japanese words. Japanese words, Honshu. And then we have place called how do I pronounce it? Let me write it. Hokkaido. Hokkaido. I don't know if it's Hokkaido or Hokkaido. Yeah, those are some of the areas where we find fishing done in. Fishing is done in Japan. Now, fishing in Japan is more mechanized, more advanced, and more elaborated as compared to fishing in Kenya. It is more mechanized because it uses machines, very powerful machines. And in this case, I'm referring to the ship. Yeah, not the condor one. Sio condor. Ni ile meli watu wanasafiri nayo So they're done in ship, and it's more advanced. The technology of fishing in Japan is absolutely advanced as far as what we have in Kenya. In fact, Kenya, we have not done any advancement in terms of fish, because at the end of the day, we don't have bridges where we can keep this fish. Sometimes farmers get fish from the lake, and even before they get to the market, all of them are rotten. They again go back to the lake to get one. So we have not been advanced the way Japanese people have done the advancement. So Kenya, we have a long way to go. But in Africa, I can assure you we have a position. In Africa, I can assure you we have a position. Now, what is the differences between Japan and Kenya? How do these countries differ in terms of farming, in terms of fish farming? Now, why is it? What is it that Japan has done, and what is it that Kenya has done that Kenya cannot match Japan in terms of fish farming? Yeah, those are some of the comparisons. So here we talk of comparisons. In this case, we are comparing Kenya, our land, our motherland, and also Japan, also our motherland. Japan is one of the countries which actually buy our coffee, and we get their machinery. Number one, the main type of fish caught in Kenya, which people like mostly, the main type of fish caught in Kenya is tilapia. In Kenya here we have tilapia. The main type of fish caught in Kenya, we have tilapia. Then we also have another one called trout, and another one called mudfish. Mudfish, the Luos can tell you, it's called kamongo. The Luos can tell you. If I pronounce it badly, please pronounce it for me well. And we also have ngege, we also have mbuta. Ngege, I think ngege is in Yomena. In Kiswahili, call them daga. Mbuta is tilapia, the big one, which if you get it and cook it nicely, my friend, you will enjoy. You will not have somebody to knock at the door or any visitor. So that's what we have in Japan. In Kenya, we have the main fish. We have mudfish, the trout, and also the tilapia. In Japan, we have types of fish. In Japan, the first one I see here, in Japan, we have the oyster. Remember, this one can only be found in the ocean. Then we also have the eels. Yeah, we have the eels. Then we also have the trout. Those are the type of fish. Those are the type of fish that we find in Japan. So there's a difference. First difference, the type of fish caught. In Kenya, we have tilapia. That's the main one, actually. The main one. There is no family in this country which does not know tilapia, whether you eat fish or not. The main one is tilapia. Then in Japan, we have oyster, the eels, and the trout. That is one difference. Point number one. Point number two. In Kenya, the way we train our fish farmers or our fishermen is what we call inadequate. Inadequate. The training of our fishing men, those men who do fishing, is very inadequate. And actually, there is no training at all. If there is, then let me know. But you find that somebody decides after Form 4, I have nothing to do. I did not get a grade to take me to the university or to any college, and if I passed, I have nothing to support me. Let me get my own fishing mosquito net, my fishing net. I get my own spear and some 2 to 3 boats made in a very crooked way, and then you go to the lake to go and do fishing. And by God luck, you get a lot of fish. You are able to get money and build your houses. So in Kenya, the training of fishing has not been intensified as done in Japan. But in Japan, we have what we call adequate facilities. Adequate facilities. Those are the ones we have in Japan. You find that things are advanced. If it's a matter of storing fish, there is proper storage facilities. If it comes to a matter of transporting fish, there are proper transporting facilities. In Kenya, you only go get your fish, put it in a paper bag, and tie it somewhere in the boot of the vehicle. Then you just go dash from Kisumu to Nairobi. By the time you're leaving Mai, it's rotten. But anyway, we have advanced. But we are comparing ourselves to Japan and see whether we are engaging somewhere. So in Japan, there is adequate facilities. Come to methods of fishing. They use ship because it's deep sea. Then from there, they have advanced methods of storage and advanced methods of transporting and even processing of that fish. So that's a point. Then another point, in Kenya, maybe this one, I don't know how you will get it, but it's a very nice point. In Kenya, we have a small market of fish, small market. Actually, fish eating has been associated with only one tribe in Kenya, and that's Luos. And sometimes Turkanas, because they also do fishing in Lake Turkana. So the market in Kenya is not as big as compared to that one of Japan. It's not as big as that one. So in Kenya, there's small fish. It's very few people who eat fish. Some reject it simply because of the smell. They will say, it smells nasty. The smell is bad. So I cannot eat something smelling like this. So the market is small. And therefore, so nobody is willing to venture into a business whereby there's no market. Even you can venture into a business where there's market. I know if you go to university, you will decide to take a degree which has market. Once you finish, people will be looking for you. Where is so and so? We hear that he is now a graduate from the University of Nairobi or any other university or a University of Baraton with a given degree. Where are you? That's people will be looking that way. So in this case, there's what? Small business. In Japan, the large market. In Japan, there's large market. At least the population in Japan iko nyingi sana. If I can put that one in Kiswahili, it's a bit fine. So, and many people there eat fish. So therefore, going to the lake or the ocean, going to the ocean, getting fish from the ocean, and then processing it with the advanced methods and mechanisms that they have, and it easily gets to the people, and the market is very big. Now, the next one, which is very interesting, in Kenya, there's what we call lack of capital. Lack of capital. That's what we have in Kenya. There is no enough money. People are very poor. Just getting one fishing net is a problem. You need a fundraising. You go all over the village asking people, please assist me in raising money to go and buy what? A fishing net. And when you go to buy one, you find the restrictions of the government. It should be of this size, should be of this size, and all that. Then you even find, and again, you also need some licenses to go to the fish and to the lake and do it. So you find that people don't have money. Yeah, somebody has only money to make a small boat and go to the fish. They go to the lake and they get fish. But now he doesn't have money to transport that fish from the source to the market. Take an example of somebody who is doing fishing in Japan, in Turkana, and they want to sell that fish in Mombasa. How you can look at the distance. And if we have poor roads, means of transport, completely very poor. Once it's raining, it was raining the other day and Nairobi was flooded all. Even the government offices, they were not spared with flood. So we also have lack of capital. In Japan, there's enough capital. In Japan, there's completely enough capital. And the government actually chips in and assists farmers to move on. And those who normally do it are the people who have well-trained, well-schooled in terms of fishing. But in Kenya, it's only anybody who can start fishing, so long as you have a space and so long as you have the skill, which you were born with. I don't know whether you're born with. The next point is most fish in Kenya is locally consumed. Local, we have to call local, is locally consumed. Kila kitu tunakula tu hapa. We cannot produce enough that we can be able to sell. What you get, you sell to the local people. In Nairobi here, you go to Kisumu, sell there. You go to Naivasha, Narok, Nakuru. You go to Eldoret, Mombasa, Kilifi, Malindi. It is just local. There is nothing that we produce that you can do what? That we can actually export. So it's local. But in Japan, hey, my friend, export. Most of the fish caught there is actually exported, and therefore, once we export something, it earns the country two things. Number one, foreign exchange. Number two, revenue, because of taxation. You have to pay tax for you to be given that license of selling fish and all that. So it earns the country foreign exchange and to some extent revenue from what we call taxation, especially from internal. So you find that in Japan, most fish produced are actually exported. So that is the advancement that we find in Japan. Now, in Kenya, this is very interesting, my friend, this is very interesting. Poor technique. Poor what? Poor technique. The technique which we use in fishing is very poor. You can imagine somebody going to the lake with a spear to go and fish. So how many fish do you want that person to get for him to be able to get enough fish to go and do what? To go and sell actually. It is actually poor methods of fishing. Somebody going with with a basket, anaenda anaingiza kwa maji to see whether he can at least get one or two. But in Japan, somebody goes with it is advanced, my friend. It is completely advanced. Very interesting. You find that it's very interesting. Now in Kenya, we have said poor methods, poor technique, but in Japan, most improved technique. Now, I want us to go for a short commercial break. And once we come back, we now move to another economic activity, which gives human beings some resources, some money, or which brings food on the table, and that is mining. So this is Hope Channel Kenya. The program is Knowledge Quest, or Quest for Knowledge. I am Alex Mokaya. Keep tuned. Yes, welcome back. This is Hope Channel Kenya. The program is Quest for Knowledge, and your teacher is Mr. Mokaya or Mokaya Ombani. Social Studies, the subject, targeting those ones who are sitting for KCP this year. Before we went for a short commercial break, we had discussed about fish farming both in Kenya and Japan. We also learned areas where we can do fish farming in Kenya and areas where fish farming is done in Japan. We learned areas in Kenya where we can get fingerlings for rearing of fish. And finally, we compared fish farming in Kenya and Japan. And we realized that in Japan, there's enough capital. In Kenya, no enough capital. In Japan, improved technology. In Kenya, poor technology. In Japan, one type of fish, and that is tilapia and maybe trout and mudfish. But in Japan, we have oyster and many other type of fish. So for now, I want to welcome you to another subtopic under natural resources and human economic activities. And in this case, we are dealing with mining. We shall define what is mining and then discuss about 2 to 3 minerals before we end the day. We shall discuss about fluorspar. We discuss about limestone, and if time allows us, we shall also discuss about diatomite. So keep tuned, this Hope Channel. Now, mining. First we define the term mining. Mining is actually the extraction. We just call it extraction of minerals from the surface, from the earth surface. Actually, simply from the soil. Extraction of minerals from the soil. We have oil, which is mined from the soil. We have ore from the earth crust. We have limestone. We have diatomite. We have fluorspar. We have gold. We have diamond. We have silver. We have many silver. No, we have diamond, and gold is also there, and copper is also there. Copper in Uganda. Those ones who did social studies class 6. Copper in Zambia, social studies class 7. Gold in South Africa, the ones we are learning now in class, the ones we learned in class 7, and all that. So we want to start with the fluorspar. Now, fluorspar. That's the one we want to start with. Number one, we have to name where it is mined and how it is mined. Then we state the uses. That's how mining is. You get the mineral, which is actually mined. Then from there, you get to where it is mined. Then from there, how it is mined. Then you get the uses. And that marks the end of that part of that metal. Then we move to another mineral. Now, fluorspar, number one, is mined at a place called Kimwerel. This is a Kalenjin word. Kimwerel. That's why it is mined in near Kerio Valley. Actually, in Kerio Valley, that's why it's mined. Now, it is mined using open cast method. It's mined with the method using open cast method. Open cast method is a very simple thing. If I can wrap this so that you can be able to see exactly what I mean here. Even this mining, let me remove it. Now you find that this is the surface of the earth. That's the surface of the earth. And therefore, the mineral that is supposed to be mined is just here. What normally happens, this topsoil is scooped away. Once it has been scooped away, it exposes the minerals that are supposed to be mined, the minerals. And then the minerals is also scooped away, put in rollies, transported to the factory for processing. Yeah, those ones who will go to Form 1, Form 2, you learn how they are processed. But in this case, we are learning on minerals and the ways of mining and many others. Now, that's what we mean by open cast. So this earth surface has been eliminated, has been scooped out by earth movers, those machines that can scoop the soil. Then from there, the mineral that is supposed to be mined, it's again scooped nicely, and then packed into rollies, and then taken to the factory for processing. And after which, then it goes to various uses, and the other one is done what? The other one is exported. Now, what are the uses of fluorspar? You need to know. What are the uses of what? Why do we mine it, and why is it that we have to mine it from there? Why do we use a lot of time and money in mining it? Number one, it is used in strengthening, to strengthen, kuweka nguvu, strengthen steel. Used in strengthening steel. And the steel is a metal which is used in manufacture of many things. Steel is very nice when it comes to heavy machinery and all that. And even construction, the roof construction. You find steel very heavy, unaweka roof kabisa. Upepo kikuja, you are safe. So it is used to strengthen steel. That is use number one. Use number two, it is used in the manufacture of cans. The manufacture of cans. Cans, in this one I refer to things like mikebe, where you once you have processed, for example, pineapples, you process fruits, you process meat, you can store them and then you can put them there for storage and then export them. It's also used in manufacture of cans and also used in storing perfumes. Used in storing perfumes. And I wonder whether there is anybody in this country who does not use a perfume, whether modern or traditional. Yeah, whether modern or traditional. The Turkanas, they use the ash and some milk, wanaweka itakuwa cream tu wanachipaka. So if you find somebody applying that one, it looks very nice. Yeah, if it's a girl you even admire and you're a boy, for that matter, if you want to marry. But anyway, you are in class 8. Then the other thing, so we are talking of traditional and modern. The other thing we have said is strengthened steel, used in the manufacture of cans and also used in the storing of perfumes. Inaingizwa kwa mkepe, ile mkepe ndani kabla uweke unaweka hapo ndani alafu ina store so that it does not go bad. Then it's also used in production of toothpaste. Production of what? Toothpaste. Ile dawa ya meno. We use fluorspar there in production of that toothpaste, and also sulfuric acid. Yeah. Once you step in Form 1, the next year after class 8, you go to Form 1. You will not go away without using these certificates, especially when it comes to matters dealing with salt formation. That's Form 2. And many others. You learn about chemical equation and all that. So more details about sulfuric acid, you'll learn it in Form 1 as you study your secondary course. So, but we use fluorspar to manufacture sulfuric acid. We also use sulfur to manufacture cement. For building constructions. We manufacture things. Kenyans have most people in Kenya have gone to real business estates, real business everywhere. So these houses are reconstructed using cement. We even use cement when we're constructing roads. So where does that cement come from? It comes from fluorspar. There's also another mineral which we use in manufacturing of cement. But for now, we are discussing about fluorspar, and therefore it's also used in manufacture of cement. And then it's also used in the manufacture of cooking utensils like pots and pans, especially in when making a handle, which when you want to get the cooker from the utensil from fire, you cannot burn. So it is used in making of manufacture of non-stick cooking pots and pans. Those are the non-stick cooking pots and pans. Now, that is as far as fluorspar is concerned. What have we said? Number one, mining is the extraction of a mineral from the earth surface. That's number one. Number two, we have said We have talked about fluorspar. What we said about fluorspar is this. Number one, it is mined at a place called Kimorel in Kerio Valley. And I told you Kimorel is a Kalenjin word. I don't know whether it's a Tugen word or a Nande word or a Chamus word, but those are members of the Tugen people, the Kalenjin people. Then it is also mined using open cast method. That's how it's mined, open cast method. And I did demonstrate about how that open cast method is. Then we have also talked about the uses of fluorspar. You cannot use money to do something if you don't see the use. You come to school and pay school fees because you're seeing the importance of education. So you cannot use money where there's no use. So in this case, we have said it is used to manufacture, to strengthen steel. That's why steel that's strong as it is. Also, you manufacture of cans, storage of perfumes. The perfume you have applied on your body, it might have been used to store it. Then we also manufacture toothpaste, dawa ya meno, kipiga muswaki. Then sulfuric acid. There are several uses of sulfuric acid. Work hard, go to Form 1. You'll get to know many things use of sulfuric acid. Also manufacture of cement and also manufacture of pans. What we call non-stick cooking pots and pans. I want us now to move to the next mineral. As far as the class 8 syllabus is concerned, we look at the next mineral so that we also get to know where it is mined, how it is mined, and also the uses. And I want to advise you that read more. The more you read, the more you get knowledge. The more you read, the more you get knowledge. And this one is limestone. Limestone is written as one word. Please don't write it lime and then stone. It is actually written as one word. Therefore, limestone, we want to discuss it. Number one, we look at the place where it's mined. Number two, we look at the method which is used to mine it. And then number three, we look at the uses. After we have looked at those three things, then limestone is over. We move to another mineral called diatomite, if time will be on our side. Number one, mining limestone is mined in an area which has what we call sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks. That's where that area. Now, how do I know that this place has sedimentary rocks? I just want to encourage you, work hard, go to Form 1. You will discuss a whole topic in your first syllabus, in your first topic in Form 2, in geography, about rocks. More rocks. Sedimentary rocks. That's area where mining limestone does best. In Kenya, it is mined in the following areas. Number one, in a place called Bamburi. Bamburi is in Mombasa. Just there. It is in Mombasa. A place called Bamburi. We also have Sultan Hamud. Sultan Hamud is on your way to Mombasa after Salama. There's a town called Salama on your way to Mombasa before actually Kibwezi. Before Kibwezi there. So you get Sultan Hamud there. There's mining there. And then we also have mining at Kerio Valley. Then we also have mining at Athi River. These are the major areas. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the major areas where mining of limestone is done in Kenya. I have said Bamburi, Sultan Hamud, Kerio Valley, Athi River. Those are the main ones I have mentioned. Those are the main ones I have done what I have mentioned. We also have some others like Koru, we have some Karoleni, in Kitui, some of those ones. But the main ones, where we have even machineries that do that heavy work, are found in these areas. Now, the next thing that we want to discuss about is the uses of limestone. What do we use limestone for? And why do we mine it? So if we answer the question, why do we mine it, then it means the uses. Remember, a question will come. I'm trying to imagine a KCP question coming. Which one of the following is not the use of limestone? Or which one of the following is not an area where limestone is mined? Or the following are areas where limestone is mined, except So get to know these things. And as you answer the questions, look at the keywords of any question. What does the question want? It's an area where mining is not done, or an area where mining is done. So get to know very clearly. We will discuss on the revision method techniques. Don't go away. We will discuss. Now, uses of limestone. Let me wrap this fast. Uses of limestone. Why do we mine limestone, and why do we process it? Why do we export it? Why do people buy? Why do we use a lot of money in this kind of business if there's no use? Number one, it is used in the manufacture of cement. Manufacture of cement. Do we call it the cement or a cement? Ask your English teacher. It's used in the manufacture of cement. That's use number one. And actually, limestone has become the best in terms of production cement and has made Kenya to be on the map in terms of cement production. We are the leading country actually in East and Central Africa. If there is a country which is competing with us, then it's Uganda. But because Kenyans were a bit technical and we have advanced, then we are ahead of Uganda. Uganda is just but following. The next use, it is also used in manufacture of fertilizers. Fertilizers. It's manufacture of fertilizers. That's use number B. Manufacture of what? Fertilizers. When you go to the shamba or your farm, you have planted maize, you have planted tea, sugarcane, coffee, you planted wheat. They need fertilizer so that you energize them. I call them energizing. Yeah, even you eat food, and then from there you add up some few drinks like soft drinks to make your health complete. So the soil also once it has its also natural fertilizer, fertility. You add something again to make it more fertile to produce what you want. So the fertilizers we do, it is done what? It comes from limestone. We use limestone to manufacture this fertilizer. But remember, Kenya imports fertilizer. I don't know, and yet we have limestone. So I don't know why we cannot get our own industry and they start in manufacturing and then export. But anyway, the next use is also the manufacture of paints. Yeah, all houses built in Kenya. In fact, let me say in the world, many of the houses that we have, they are painted. Where does that paint come from? Does it come from heaven? Ama unaenda tu kwa tapu unachota inakuwa paint unapaka. Then you say my house looks very nice. It comes from limestone, my friend. Limestone. Manufacture of paints. So we have said it manufactures cement, manufactures fertilizers, and also manufactures paint. It is used in the manufacture. Limestone does not manufacture. The person who manufactures is the human being. Binadamu ndiye ana manufacture, who is the one who controls the process of manufacturing. But limestone is just but used in manufacturing cement, fertilizers, and paints. The next one, construction of roads. Road construction. Road construction. We use limestone. Construction, road what? Construction. To make our roads very stable and very well, so that we can improve our advancement. We thank God for our president, the former president, Mwai Kibaki, and the Prime Minister, Raila Odinga, because during their reign, they really inspired many road construction. That's when we have the superhighway of Thika and the many bypasses that have been constructed around the country. So we thank God for those individuals who assisted us. So road construction, we have mentioned that. The last one, not but the least, it's also the limestone, the lime rock, the lime, the rime. I'm sorry, the lime, not the rime. The lime rock is used in treatment of water treatment. So E, we say water treatment. What? Treatment. Yeah, you cannot drink water the way it is. You have to do some treatment because of pollution. There is air pollution, the human pollution. We have everything that actually has polluted water. So once you get it, you treat it first before you drink. Boil it or do it. But in this case, we use limestone in water treatment. Now, my friend, let us remind what I've said. What have I said? I've talked about limestone. Now, what have I said about limestone? Number one, it's mined in Bamburi. That's where limestone is mined. It's mined in Bamburi. It's mined in Sultan Hamud. It's mined in Kerio Valley and Athi River. There are many places like Koru, Homa Bay, name those places. But the main ones are those ones. That's number one. Number two, what are the uses? what did we say are what? Are the uses. What are the uses? Number one, manufacture of cement. That's the main product. Manufacture of cement. The rest are actually products, but cement is the main product. Number two, we have manufacture of fertilizers. We have manufacture of what? Fertilizers. Number three, we have road construction. We use it in road construction. We also use it in manufacture of paint, and also water treatment, Now, I want to move quickly because of time. My director is directing me, so we look at diatomite. Then we call it a day, and then I invite you tomorrow. Please invite your friend, call your friends. Even all over, Hope Channel is actually a channel nationwide. It's all over in Kenya. So call your friend even in Turkana, Kapedo, if you have a friend there, Mandera, Garissa, call your friend. Now let us look at diatomite. We look at diatomite, and actually this is the last mineral that we are looking at it today. Then we meet next. Now it is mined at a place called Kariandusi. It's mined at a place called Kariandusi. And if you are a historian like me, then Kariandusi, you must know it, because it's one of the prehistoric sites. Is it a prehistoric site or a historic site? We are coming to that one when we shall deal with history. So it's mined at a place called Kariandusi. It is mined using open cast method. It's mined using open cast method. That's why it's mined. That's how it's mined. Now, what are the uses? Number one, it is used to make water filters. Uses. Number one, water filters. It's used to make water filters. We don't need to explain here. You know what is water filters. We don't need to explain here. It's used to make water filters. Number two, it's used to make heat. Number B here, heat insulators. It's used to make heat insulators. Actually, especially if you go to Oricaria at Hell's Gate, where we have geothermal production of electricity, those pipes, big pipes that transport the heat, the steam from the ground out, because that steam is very hot. We normally cover it with the diatomite, so that you don't. Once you touch it, it does not harm you so badly. So we have it manufacture of heat insulators, and also manufacture, number C, of soap. Manufacture of soap, and also paints. Manufacture of soap and paints. Also, it is used to preserve, number D, preserve fertilizer. Used in preserving fertilizer. And finally, used in dry cleaning. Used in dry cleaning of clothes, in the laundry. Number E, used in the laundry. Used in the laundry. Now we have talked about diatomite. It's found in the mine at Kariandusi using open cast method. It's used in water filtration. Manufacturing of water filters. It's also used in the production of heat insulators. It's also used in manufacture of soap and paint. Also used to preserve fertilizer, and also used in the laundry during the dry cleaning of our clothes. The dry cleaning of our clothes. So that's where we can reach today. This is Hope Channel Kenya. Your host Mokaya Ombane. The subject is social studies. The program is Quest for Knowledge. Kindly invite more friends, and let us meet next time. Bye bye.